Hola, mi amigos. I am back and let's see what we will do today. So yesterday we learned simple past, but I don't remember any of it. So let's do a recap on simple past. And if we have time, we'll go over present continuous and present perfect. Okay, I genuinely do not remember any of the simple past that we learnt yesterday. So let's quickly go over that. Or maybe I try to remember as much as I can, and then when I can't remember any of it, we go over and then we know the mistakes we made. Okay? So the rules are different for AR verbs from the ER/IR verbs. The simple past tense applies to sentences where in English you would have one word. So, I ate lunch, I drank water, I went somewhere. And there's lots of irregular ones, but I didn't get to those, so we'll get to them at some point. Okay? Okay. Let's begin. So to my remembering, all you do is take your infinitive, you remove the AR from the end or ER or IR from the end, and then you add a different ending depending on whether it's an AR verb or if it's an ER/IR verb. Okay? And it also will change depending on the subject. So if I'm talking about me, if I'm talking about you, if we're talking about us as a collective, if we're referring to a group of people, you all, ellos, I forgot to ella. So a verb, an AR verb would be like hablar, almorzar, alcanzar. I think that means to reach, and then avanzar is to progress. So, I think it would become, you remove the AR and then you remove the AR and you add, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a table. So subject, and remove AR, add the ending, and then for my for, okay, subject, ending, hablar, almorzar, alcanzar, avanzar. If this is wrong, we can always change it at the end. It's okay. Yo, oops. Tú, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, ellos. I think it's an ending with an O with an accent on it. Okay. I think this will be, so I think this will be hablo, almuerzo, alcanzo, avanzo. I think this might be completely incorrect. Hablaste, almorzaste, alcanzaste, avanzaste. Okay, so do not rely on this if you are watching. If you are learning and / trying to remember, make sure it's correct first. So this is just for my practice. Él, ella. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think this will be amos. I think this will be estés. This will be an. Hablamos. Hablastes. Hablan. This. Okay. Let's do the same for ER, IR verbs. So these would be like comer, vivir, sentir, decidir, to decide. I think this becomes io. Hablio. No, sorry. So this has to change. Comer. Vivir. Sentir. Decidir. And then I think tú iaste. Iamos. Iestes. Ian. Okay, so let's check. Before I fill them in, let's check if this is correct or how far off am I. And then we can proceed. I wrote it all down yesterday. Okay, so I was incorrect for the first one. So this will be E with an accent on top. I need to learn how to get the accents on quicker. E with an accent. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now. So this is correct. And then ella / L is O with an accent on top. So like this. It'll have an accent on like this. This will also have an accent on like this. Amos, this will be astes, not estes. Astes. And this is not an, this is Aaron. Aaron. Aste o amos astes Aaron. So preterite. Yo hablé, almorcé, yo hablé, tú hablaste, él, ella habló. Nosotros hablamos. Vosotros hablasteis. Ellos hablaron. hable, almorce, alcance, avance. Lovely stuff. Almorzo, alcanzo, avanzo, almorzamos, alcanzamos, avanzamos, almorzaste, alcanzaste, avanzaste, almorzaron, alcanzaron, avanzaron. So let's now try to figure out what this is without looking. So this will be ie, iaste, io, iamos, iastes, iaron. Is that correct? No, it's not correct. So this will be just ei with an accent on top instead of a full stop. I with an accent. Iste, not iaste, iste. Io with O has an accent on top. Okay, O has an accent on top. Imos, not iamos, imos. Istes, istes, not iastes. And then ieron, not iaron, ieron. Iste, io, imos, istes, ieron. Iste, io, imos, istes, ieron. Comi, comiste, comío, comimos, comistes, comieron, viví, viviste, vivió, vivimos, vivistes, vivieron, sentí, sentiste, sentío, nosotros sentimos, vosotros sentistes, ellos sintieron, yo decidí, tú decidiste, él, ella decidió, nosotros decidimos, decidimos, vosotros decidistes, ellos decidieron, okay. Yo hablé, tú hablaste, él, ella habló, nosotros hablamos, vosotros hablasteis, Ellos hablaron. Yo almorcé, tú almorzaste, ella almorzó, nosotros almorzamos, vosotros almorzasteis, ellos almorzaron. Yo comí, tú comiste, ella comió, nosotros comimos, vosotros comisteis, ellos comieron. I reached, yo alcancé. You reached, tú alcanzaste. He reached, él alcanzó. She reached, ella alcanzó. We reached, nosotros alcanzamos. You all reached, vosotros alcanzasteis. They reached, ellos alcanzaron. I felt, yo sentí. You felt, tú sentiste. He felt, él sintió. She felt, ella sintió. We felt, nosotros sentimos. You all felt, vosotros sentisteis. They felt, ellos sintieron. Y hasta o, amos astesaron. Y hasta o, amos astesaron. Y io, imos hieron. E hasta o, amos astesaron. Y io, imos hieron. E hasta o, amos astesaron. Y io, imos hieron. Okay, so if we pause that there, and do some more practice by asking ChatGPT for practice questions, and we try to remember. Okay? May I please have some sentences that use simple past tense? Okay? Translation time. We won't do irregular because it can be bothered. I walked to school yesterday. Walked is caminar. Caminar. Yo Camini. Oh God, how have I forgotten already? I think it is E. Yo camine. I checked. I cheated. It's yo camine. With an E with a accent on top. Yo caminé a la escuela ayer. She played soccer with her friends. Ella jugar, caminé, so jugó fútbol con sus amigas. We watched a movie last night. Watched. Ver. Nosotros. Ver. Ver. V-I-A. Vimos una película anoche. He cooked dinner for his family. Cocinar. Él cocinó la cena para su familia. Please don't think these are correct if you are watching. This is my practice time, so if you are translating along with me, we will find out the correct answers once I've finished. They visited their grandparents on Sunday. They visited their grandparents on Sunday. Ellos visitaron sus abuelos on Sunday. En sábado. El sábado. No, domingo. Sábado is Saturday. En el domingo, on the Sunday, ellos visitaron sus abuelos en el domingo. On Sunday. My teacher explained the lesson clearly. I don't know the word for clearly. Okay, so I will have my best guess. Mi maestra I don't also know the verb for explained. If I was to guess, explanar. Mi maestra explanaron el lesson clearly. I will just write clearly and then we'll see what it translates to. The dog barked at the mail carrier. I also don't know. El perro barked. Verb for barked either ends with o or io. at the mail carrier. A la mail carrier. Well, we'll see. I finished my homework before dinner. Finished. Terminar. Yo termino mi tarea antes la cena. She cleaned her room in the morning. Ella limpió su habitación en la mañana. We enjoyed our vacation at the beach. Nosotros disfrutamos nos vacaciones a la playa. Okay? Please check my translations. Please check and correct my translations to Spanish. Jugó needs an accent. Él jugó al fútbol con sus amigas. So I always get confused that because it's friends, is the sus referring to, so it's referring to the friends, but I wonder if it needs to be singular because it's just her that we're talking about. But I think because we're referring to multiple friends, it needs to be plural, so it needs to be sus. Ella jugó al fútbol con sus amigas. Nosotros vimos una película anoche. Película has an accent on top. Él cocinó la cena para su familia. So él and cocinó both need accents on top. Ellos visitaron a sus abuelos el domingo. Not en el domingo, el domingo. And I think before you talk about a person, there needs to be an a. This is also something I get confused with. Ellos visitaron a sus abuelos el domingo. Ellos visitaron a sus abuelos el domingo. Mi maestra explicó. The verb is expli. Claramente. Lección claramente. Mi maestra explicó la lección claramente. Okay. Yeah, so I use explanaron because this is also a tense mistake. If I thought the verb was explanar, I needed to use explanó. Okay. I've used the verb correction for they when I needed to use it for she. The dog barked. The verb for barked. El perro Le ladro al cartero. Mail carrier is cartero, and the verb is ladro for barked. So it must be ladrar to bark, and then it's been corrected to ladro. I finished my homework before dinner. Yo termino mi tarea antes de la cena. Antes de, before, after dinner. Antes de la cena. She cleaned her room in the morning. Ella limpió su habitación en la mañana. So I'm missing all my accents. You get your accents on. We enjoyed our vacation at the beach. Nosotros disfrutamos nuestras vacaciones en la playa. En la playa. Okay, so we will copy that across. Lovely stuff. Okay. Final recap of simple past. Ella, ia/ia. With only one verb, hablar. Aya and ia, we will go sentir. Okay. Yo hablo. No, yo hablé. No, yo hablé. I with an accent. Yo hablé. Tú hablaste. Él, ella habló with an accent on the O. Nosotros hablamos. Vosotros hablasteis. Ellos hablaron. Sentir, yo sentí. Tú sentiste. Él, ella sintió. Nosotros sentimos. Vosotros sentiste. Yes, sentiste. Ellos sentieron. And let's do a check. Let us do a final check. Yo hablé, yep, missing the accent, but fine. Hablaste, fine. Habló, fine. Hablamos, fine. Hablaste, fine. Hablaron, ellos hablaron, fine. Sentir, yo sentí, fine. Sentiste, sentió, sentimos, sentiste, sentieron. Excellent. I will do this recap first thing as well in the next lesson. Perfect. Gracias por mirar, mis amigos. Adiós.